So Justin Makes Cocktails returns. Tonight I am going to be making a daiquiri, which, last year at some point when I was making videos still, I had asked, what drinks people want me to make or what people like, and I had multiple people say daiquiri, and when I hear daiquiri, I think of something you get at Applebee's that's frozen, and I do not like frozen drinks. Now, I'm not saying I never drink them, but it's not my thing. And so I always thought of it as being kind of a cheap drink, but it's really not. So we're going to be making it tonight with, I've got this rum. I wanted to get something a little different than, Captain Morgan's rum. So I did a little research and I got this one, not too expensive, Diplomatico from Venezuela, which was a recommended, white rum or Blanca rum and fresh lime juice. And then I made up my own Demerara syrup, which I put in a jar here. And it's basically you take, Demerara sugar, which I couldn't find, but I saw a substitute for it is turbinado sugar, which is, usually in the brown package you get at Starbucks or whatever. And you basically just make a simple syrup with that with an equal mixture of water. So I jarred some up. It gives it a little bit of a more of a molasses type flavor as opposed to just sugar. So it definitely is different. It's a nice brown color, which is interesting. So that's what I'll be making tonight. It's a really simple drink. I've got a cocktail shaker filled with ice here. And I'm gonna start by adding 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice. I did do fresh, there's even some pulp in it. 3/4 ounce of my Demerara syrup or turbinado syrup, since that's what I had. Get that in there. It's gonna give it a little sweetness. And then I'm gonna do 2 shots of my rum. Now I did see a little bit of mixed information on Wikipedia about when this drink came about. And it was early 1900s. An American who was in Cuba is supposedly the one who invented it. And then some other American who was some politician brought it to New York, which started to make it popular in the early 1900s. But give it a shake here. All right, so I've got a chilled coupe glass here, which is what was in the recipe I saw. I thought it was cute. And I don't think I've ever used these for one of these videos before. This is an old school glass from Cape's grandma. And anyways, I wanted to read this part from Wikipedia because I think it's really funny, and then I'll taste the drink. It's actually perfect size. It's not a huge drink. So the drink really got popular in the 1940s because there was a shortage on whiskey and vodka because of rationing. So Franklin D. Roosevelt had put together some kind of agreement with some of the Latin American countries to do trade with them. And that helped bring rum into the United States. And the thing I thought was funny is it says, consequently, rum-based drinks once frowned upon as being the choice of sailors and down and outs, which I don't even know what that means, but I thought it was really funny the way it's worded. But that helped make rum drinks fashionable in the United States. So we can thank the 1940s for this drink, I guess. So this is a daiquiri, and there's a lot of variations on it. I went with a really simple one, but I wanted to use good rum with it. So I'm gonna give it a little try here. I think it's so good. It's such a different type of drink. I don't know that I've made a drink like this for the videos, at least. We were trying me and Gabe always try the practice one first. That was the first one I made. And he thought it needed more sugar. I think it's perfect just as it is, but you could always add more of the syrup in. You could always add a little more lime. And you could, if you wanted it stronger, which I saw there's a variation that I want to try sometime called the Hemingway daiquiri, which I might make for a future video because I think it's interesting, but you could add more rum to it. So anyways, daiquiri, if you ever make one, I want to hear about it, even if it's a variation. If you share your videos or your pictures with me, I'll post them if it's something that you've made because you saw it in my video or whatever. I always want to hear about those things. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next weekend.